So it's really no secret that I have been a big supporter of Bernie Sanders the past few years. And one of the main reasons that I started getting into him, one of the main reasons that I continue to support him is he is self-funding. Now, we heard this from Trump and everything, and that's one of the reasons he was so popular. I helped him win last time in 2016. Oh, I'm self-funding, and this, and that, and the other. And he was lying, of course. That's, he took corporate money and everything. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about how Bernie Sanders does not take corporate PAC money, and that's why he's been fighting for the same things for the past 40 years. So anybody has any questions about the differences between him and anybody else, just look at his record. He's got the receipts, as Nina Turner says. He's got the receipts. You look back in the past 40 years, he's been fighting for the same policies because, one, he's principled, yes, and two, he does not take corporate PAC money. And that's something you cannot say for 95 to 99% of the politicians in Washington. And he just unveiled a plan this past week about ending the corruption. And because we need to overturn Citizens United, and that's really Citizens United shot a dead horse. You go back before that, it was in the mid-'70s. I think it was Buckley versus Vallejo, a Supreme Court case that decided that corporations could give unlimited sums of money to campaigns, and they call it campaign contributions. But that's not. It's a legalized bribe. It's exactly what it is, and it's wrong. It doesn't make any sense, and that is the main reason why income inequality is growing. Year after year, the divide between the rich and the poor is just getting further and further apart. And you can look at, and if you don't believe me, you could go look up on Google, look at the chart of productivity versus wage growth over the past 100 years, and you can see, up until the 70s, it grows about the same rate. But then once it gets to the mid-'70s, when the Supreme Court decision was decided, there's a gap where productivity keeps going up at the same rate and wages become stagnant. So it's a problem. And so one of the things, for example, Bernie wants to, when he gets elected for his inauguration, knock on wood, he's not going to take any corporate sponsors for his inauguration. He wants to limit $500 is the maximum individuals can give for that particular event. He wants to, eventually overturn the money in politics so nobody can take corporate PAC money. And look, I understand, he's got so many issues, and I agree with him on, 99% of them. Medicare for all, Green New Deal, ending the military-industrial complex, and all these senseless wars. I could go on and on. Income inequality, equal rights. Everything's important, but nothing's going to get done until you take the money out of politics. Because when all these politicians are getting bribed legally, they look out for the corporate interests and not for the American people. And that's wrong. We need politicians that are going to represent the constituents of the United States, the citizens, and not their corporate donors. And that's exactly what they're doing. They are deregulating certain things, cutting corners, giving tax breaks, and these companies give the campaigns some money. Sometimes it's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars. And all in all, it totals billions of dollars, honestly. But they're not doing that for their health. They're not doing that because, I like this guy's stance on foreign policy. No, they're doing it because they're saving money. They're either getting government contracts for no bid contracts, or they are getting tax cuts, they're getting benefit on the back end. So it's a good investment for them, honestly. But and it'd be stupid for them not to do it. This is the world we live in. This is the country we live in anyway. It's crazy, and that's why we have to get the money out of politics. And I'm telling you, Bernie Sanders has been fighting for the same thing for the past 40 years, and he's a true leader, and he is the one that is going to end the corruption. Or, if anybody can do it, it's going to be him. Let me put it that way. So we need to get it out there and support Bernie in any way we can. Thanks.